Wimborne Town's 6-match winning run came to an abrupt halt at the Luke Meadow at Didcot today as they went down 5-1 to a very strong Didcot team. Started badly for Wimborne, going 1-0 down in the second minute when a long throw was only partially cleared to Pablo Haitian, and the Didcot number 10 made no mistake as he smashed the ball into the net. Jason Harville was needed to stop the score doubling on 11 minutes. He made a great save when the Didcot Town man was right through. But the second goal was only delayed, and on 29 minutes it came along. John Mills made it 2, a good through ball, and he curled the ball past Jason Harville. John Mills, the league's top scorer for Didcot. And it got worse for Wimborne on 35 minutes when Billy Maybury's foul had the referee pointing to the spot, and Billy picked up a yellow for that, and it was that man Mills again who competently finished to put the home side 3-0 up. Wimborne got a glimmer of hope right on the half-time whistle when Jamie Davidson netted from long range, 3-1 at the interval. And Wimborne started the second period right well. We felt perhaps if we could get a second goal it would put the home side under pressure. Mark Gamble made a good run to get through, but elected to square the ball instead of shoot, and there was nobody there when the ball came over. Jason Harville was called on again in 48 minutes to make a tremendous save. And then on 65 minutes the game was over as a contest as Didcot went 4-1 up. That man Coles again completing his hat-trick. We got the break of the ball in the penalty area and beat Jason from close range. It got worse for Wimborne in 72 minutes when Jamie Davidson picked up a straight red for a ill-advised challenge in the centre of the park, and the misery was completed on 87 minutes when a super volley from Clark, the Didcot substitute from 8 yards, made it 5-1. No excuses for Wimborne today. They came up against a team right on form and full of confidence, as of course Wimborne should be as well. But Didcot were strong, they were fast, they were good movement, and they were good on the ball. Steve Cuss opted to go for the same team that beat Northwood last week, and that meant the returnees Sam Griffin and Scott Arnold had to make do with that, with a place on the bench. They all came on in the second half, along with Jack Lupton, and Jack stood out when he came on. This is one though that Steve Cuss will want to put behind him, and he's got a chance on Tuesday night when we entertain Fleet Town at Cuthbury. I hope to see you there. I got Steve with me after the game at Didcot today. Steve came up against a good team today. Yeah, definitely. We didn't perform particularly well, but I just said to the players, I just thought they had a little bit too much experience and know-how for us, and it might just sum up where we are in our development. They've brought in 2 or 3, 4 players from higher level, particularly a couple of lads from Oxford City, and you could see they had plenty of experience and plenty of know-how, and probably controlled the game from start to finish. But the disappointing factor is that we got off to a slow start today, conceded inside the first 2 minutes, and once you give that first goal away, I talk about it a lot, you give that first goal away, you've got a lot to do from that point onwards. I was going to ask you, how important was that? I just thought our start was poor. It was just disappointing to come out and start the game in that way, and we haven't done that for a long time, and against the better sides in the league you get punished, and we got punished today, and that was probably the deciding factor. It's kind of like set the tone for the rest of the game. Mm-hmm. Good second goal, and then the penalty. I was up the other end, so I didn't see it, but no complaints. No complaints about the penalty. I think the referee probably got that right, and probably the decision just to book Billy, because I thought he was never going to get the second touch to shoot. He had a heavy touch, so he probably got that one right. Yeah. Jamie brought us back into it with a well-taken goal right on half-time, and start of the second half there was a wee glimmer of hope. Mark Gamble was through, elected to square the ball instead of shoot. No blame attached to him for that, but the chance was gone, and they were soon on top. Yeah, I thought Jamie's goal gave us a little bit of a lifeline. Mm-hmm. We were dead and buried at 3-0, and then right at the stroke of half time he finishes it really well, and I said to the players, obviously now the next goal in the game could change it, and say Mark had a half chance and squared it, but again, the shout was to square it, and that's what he did. So sure. It was a little bit unlucky that didn't quite come off, but you know, in all honesty, they missed a few chances before they actually scored their 4th goal, and you know, we've got to put our hands up. We were well beaten today.
The Jamie red card, any complaints?
Yeah, big complaints. Yeah. But you know, sometimes I just think you just got to give yourself a little bit of thinking time. But you know, they've got a tough job, referees, and it's tough. But you know, a few of their players have been to see me and said that it wasn't a red card, which you know I appreciate. But it means we miss a player with a small squad, and you know, that's very damaging for us.
Referees have just got that fraction of a second to make up their mind.
I'm not being critical of the referee. He had a split second, but I think if you give yourself that thinking time sometime, look at players' reactions, because when there's a bad tackle, players know it's a bad tackle, and there was no reaction from none of their players, and he quickly got a red card out where if he'd have just given himself 10 seconds, it probably would have resulted in a yellow and the right decision.
You elected to go with the same team that beat Northwood last week, despite Sam and Arnie being back. Thoughts on that? Yeah,
I just think it's what players deserve. You know, you look at Tom; he's come in and played 3 games, and there are 3 big games. He's played 1 at centre, 2 at centre half, and at right back, and he deserved to play. He deserved to start today. There was no way I could leave him out with his performances. But again, you know, you're looking at the likes of Tom and Billy and some of the other younger players, and up against their experienced players. But we'll work at it, and we'll be that experience one day if we keep giving players the opportunity to play. So, you know, I'm really pleased with Tom. I took him off to get Scott on to give us that little bit of extra with sort of like half an hour to go. But you know, I've been delighted with him over the last few games. I thought he deserved to start today.
Well, it's a vote of confidence in Tom, which he fully deserves, and it'll do his confidence no end again, I would say.
Yeah, and you know, Jack come on in a good half an hour as well, and he's been on the bench now for sort of like 4 or 5 games, and he's pushing for a place as well. So it gives me a few thoughts for Tuesday night, and obviously Sam coming back on and being available today. You know, it gives me a few options for Tuesday night and see what we can do and move the side around maybe.
I was going to mention Jack Lupton because he did look good when he came on. I mean, and as you say, pushing for a start. What is it you like about Jack?
Yeah, I mean, he plays. He's technically very good. We've said it before that he's never played at this kind of level before. So sometimes sometimes the pace of the game is what he's getting used to. But I think you saw it today with obviously it being a little bit slower pace come the last half an hour. He's got a pass in him, and I thought he opened them up with 2 or 3 very good passes, and obviously he's a good athlete who gets around the pitch as well, and you know, he is pushing for a place. So if he can keep posing me those problems, and that's what I want.
Thanks, Mike. Well, the lights have gone out here, and the lights went out on our winning run today, but let's draw a line and up for Fleet Town on Tuesday. Yeah,
it's been a fantastic run that we've been on, and I've just said to the players, you know, we have to take this one on the chin today, but good sides bounce back, and you know, we've got to try and do that on Tuesday and prove that we are a good side.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Cheers.